I hope this is going. It'd be a bummer if it wasn't. Okay. It is Wednesday. Got some light clean and jerks today. Pretty good. Only a little bit tight from yesterday. My chest. It's kind of weird. Like my low back is now pretty loose, but now my mid back is a little bit tight. So we're gonna, roll some of that out, get that nice and loose. Which I don't know. I think that's kind of a good sign, maybe. I don't really know, but we're just gonna keep working on making sure that our back is staying healthy and we can get back to some real weights as soon as we can. So that's what we'll do. But that's where we're at in terms of how my back feels and that stuff. Yeah, we don't really have much squatting or anything for a little bit because of that. But I think we should be pretty much back to like regular workouts. Maybe not as heavy, but regular workouts by next week. So that'll be nice. It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm excited for today. We're just gonna kind of move around. It's not super high stakes or high intensity. So we're just gonna get in there, roll out, move around. You know, maybe not get that much better, but definitely not get any worse. So yeah, we'll just cut to. I don't know what I have, but I think it's some sort of clean air. So we'll just jump to that real quick. Okay, so I messed that up. Kind of got to start again, but basically, we're done with Wednesday. Kind of a boring workout. Mostly just because we're we're being safe. Um, but yeah, like I just we're getting back into the swing again. It is kind of demoralizing a little bit, but I'm okay with it. And I know what I have to do. I just gotta get it done. Like I had to get up in the mornings, stretch. When I come back from doing something 2-3 hours before the gym, stretch. Then when I'm at the gym, do more of dynamic stretches, work up a sweat before I start lifting. Like I don't need to do an entire mobility session, roll out and all this stuff, because then you kind of get too loose, and that's not what you want when you're going to go lift heavy weights, right? Like you want to be loose to a certain point, but you don't want to be so relaxed that everything just kind of you kind of get out of place. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. So today, every day is a step in the right direction. We're just gonna keep moving forward, keep using our brain. That's the big thing, is like listening to my body, being honest with my body, and being honest with myself, right? Like, if I'm getting to the gym and I'm like, oh no, I feel really good, but really, like, in the back of your mind, you're kind of like, I don't know, I didn't really do well in my mobility this week. I didn't do well on my recovery this week. I didn't sleep well enough, right? You got all that stuff in the back of your mind, and it's like, yeah, you want to go into stuff confident, but you also just, like, you need to be honest with yourself and be like, hey, you didn't do these things, you didn't check these boxes. Maybe just don't go super heavy today. Don't try to blow it out of the water. Just listen to your body, and if you do get to these heavier weights and you do feel good, that's okay. Go up again, but be honest with yourself and listen to yourself, right? Don't don't just try to make an excuse and be like, I gotta go heavy, and convince yourself that you're okay to go heavy if you're not, like, if you haven't met the requirements. I think, yeah, I don't know, being honest with yourself is something I like to talk about, and I kind of want to talk about, especially in the gym. I mean, all of this stuff is going to be pertaining to the gym, because that's what I know, and that's what I can best relate something to. But in the end, I mean, you can use a lot of this stuff as life advice, like, and I think being honest with yourself, I mean, it's definitely a medium, right? You don't want to be so negative and so hard on yourself that it's kind of draining. Like, be positive, but be honest. Like, if you are, let's say you're having knee pain, right? You're always having knee pain. You're talking about how you always have knee pain. But when you do, you rarely do your mobility work. You rarely do anything to kind of help your joints, help stabilize and strengthen the muscles around your joints and ligaments, right? You either rarely do it, or when you do it for like 5 minutes and then you're done, and you just, like, do fuck all the rest of the day, right? Be honest with yourself. Like, that's why it's still hurting. That's why it's still a problem. Like, doing a 5-minute routine is not going to help your knee pain. It's not going to help your back pain. Like, if I'm coaching someone and they are complaining about this, like, oh, this hurts all the time, and I give them something to do and they're still, like, consistently complaining about it, I'm like, okay, well, how long did you actually take to do this stuff? Like, I gave you these things to do. How long did you take to do it? How much did you focus on it? Were you watching TV the whole time you were doing it? Were you thinking about a bunch of different things while you were doing it? Like, and if it's like, oh, it took me about, like, 5 minutes, I was watching TV while I was doing it. Like, that this isn't going to fix itself unless you really put the time in and work on it, right? So, and as if you're coaching someone, you can only do so much, but an athlete, they need to be, just anyone, like, you need to be honest with yourself. Like, yeah, I'm fucking up right now. Like, yeah, I am not doing my absolute best here, right? And I think a lot of people fail at that, at being like, yeah, like, I am wrong, right? I am not doing what I'm saying I'm doing. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's just, I don't know. This is kind of expanding into more of a bigger issue with just humans in general. Like, we so often just, like, so many people, they just can't be honest and be like, yeah, I'm fucking up. They want to blame a million different things. It's you, right? Like, sure, there are other factors, but a lot of times, look at yourself and look what you're doing wrong, right? You are fucking things up. Like, you need to look at yourself first. This is just all like cliches, but look at yourself first and be like, what am I doing that might be wrong here? How would someone else see, and how would someone else talk about me behind my back? That's like, I mean, you know, you shouldn't be talking behind people's backs, but everyone does. And like a lot of times, if someone's talking behind their back, they're talking about truthful things to a certain degree. Like, if I'm always talking about how, oh, I want to improve this, oh, I want to get better at this, oh, I really want to do this, but I'm never doing it, people are going to talk about that. They're going to be like, yeah, he always says that. He never follows through. Like, that's you. Be honest with yourself. Look at yourself and be like, how am I fucking up here? This is the issue. How am I fucking up? How am I making this issue bigger? Right? But yeah, that kind of broadened into a life thing, and yeah, I think everyone, like, we have such a hard time. It's so much easier to blame someone else for your shortcomings and to blame a bunch of different things. And it's like, okay, well, what did you do wrong? Because 9 times out of 10, there's something you did that wasn't right, something you're doing that's not lining up, right? Just look at yourself first. Be honest with yourself and be like, again, like, I'm not saying be negative. Don't be a negative person, but be honest with yourself. There's a difference, Yeah. Anyways, I really want to do a grocery haul tomorrow. That's me right now saying this, is I want to do it, but we'll see if I do it. Other than that, we got arms tomorrow. Either arms or back. So, we'll see. And then Friday we'll have probably 2 videos. And it'll be arms or back, or... yeah, it'll be arms or back, and then, Friday lift. So, that's all I got. Take home today, be honest with yourself. Don't be negative, be honest. All right.